Hey guys, so went to Home Depot with my husband and we're gonna see what I got today. So see you soon. Alright guys, so as you can see I went to Home Depot and got some plants. Surprise, surprise. So actually this is kind of my husband's fault. He encouraged it. I only wanted a couple, trying to be good. Anyways, we got the barbecue herbs. We have 2 of them. So these have oregano, rosemary, and thyme. My husband picked these out. He thought these were the 2 best ones that we could find. Sorry if you can't see very well. The really tall things right here are oregano. Rosemary is obviously these little guys right here. And then these guys are the thyme. And this is what this one kind of looks like from the front side. And I'll show you guys these again in an update video when we put them outside. They're probably going to stay in their little planters until they get to the point where they need to be taken out. But I'm going to try to keep them in there as long as possible. Okay, so I had gotten, let's start with this guy. I had gotten one of these straight necks squashes. And it came with like I think 6 or so in the container, but because I didn't have any shade cloth or anything, the poor little thing didn't quite make it. So, and I wanted to get a new one, which is why I only wanted like a couple things. And then we saw these crook neck ones and we couldn't decide which one was the better one, so we just grabbed all 3 of them. So there's a couple in each one of them, so hopefully a couple of them will stick around longer than the rest. So hopefully all of them just stick around longer than we think that they might, but that'd be nice either way. And then I got this, what is it? It's called Incantia. It is an edible flower. You can use it for different medicinal purposes. So I thought it was kind of a cool little thing. You can have it as flower, you can have it as something you can technically eat. And then because I killed my poor peas trying to amend the soil, I got a pack of peas. Don't know if these are exactly the same type of peas, but they look very close to the peas that I had. And those have 2 in each cell, it looks like, so I got 12 peas in total. So yeah, that's just a little update of what I got from Home Depot, and then I will put these in the ground and show you guys where I put them, and we'll just do a little tour here in a little while. So I'll bring you back when I get that done. Alright, and we're back. So this is where I ended up putting the barbecue mix for the oregano, thyme, and rosemary. I'm going to try to keep them, like I said earlier, in the containers. But my husband does want me to eventually move them out so that way they can be just part of the regular garden. And I was thinking about reusing the containers for a different type of plant later, maybe next year, so we'll see how that goes, but I'll keep you guys updated on what we do. And then I'm going to eventually also trim all this up once we figure out exactly where they're going. And then just to kind of give a quick little update on garden stuff while we're already here. So this is everything I had growing inside. The 2 big ones right here that I'm pointing to, those are going to be butternut squash. These 3 little ones here are going to be cucumbers. That one right there is my Moon and Star watermelon that I had started inside already. And then I also have some extra seeds from Cal Ranch that my husband got me, so I'm going to be planting some of those directly just to see how they do and if there's any difference between Baker Creek and the Livingston from Cal Ranch. These are white tomatoes, so they're going to remain a white color or a light green color when they ripen. And then this is my dark opal basil. It's not doing the greatest. We're having issues with the water and heat from the light. So hopefully hardening them off and bringing them out here will help adjust that, because these ones and the tomatoes and watermelon do not have the same soil as these do, and I will do a separate video on what soil mix I found that I like the most right now. These little oops, sorry guys, I bumped you. These little bushes, these ones are doing okay. I'm not 100 if they particularly like it here yet or not, but my husband said that they look different. They're not as vibrant. I think they're just dusty at the moment, so I'm going to try to see if I can't brush them off or something. This kale right here is going to go through a little harvest, so it's going to look different by tomorrow, hopefully. This broccoli hasn't set ahead yet, but we're getting there. Two of the violas, pansies, Johnny jump ups, whatever you want to call them, have just magically died on me. Excuse me. So I'm not sure if it's just that time of the year or not, or if there's just a watering issue or something, but I'm trying to figure that out. The rest of them seem to be doing fine, other than potentially this one maybe. My bachelor buttons are doing good. The mystery poppy is doing amazing. The dill is just loving it over here. I was just going over with my husband about like questions he had earlier, which was fun to show him. So the pineapple sage, minus a few crispy leaves, are doing great. This one, of course, obviously is still bigger than the other one. So amongst the seeds that ended up getting poured into here due to the cats, this one I think is going to be an artichoke. I don't know. We'll have to figure out when it gets bigger. It looks like it is. I thought it was a melon, but I guess not. That one I'm still positive it's a type of melon. These one and the one back here I do believe are balsam, because they look like the balsam that I planted, which have sprouted in the flower section. These flowers here are doing alright. The sunburn has decreased from what I can tell for the most part. Bug went up my nose. This Icelandic poppy here, it's doing so-so. My husband pointed out that there was some black coloration where it just straight up died back. So I don't know if it was just exposed by the top of its roots too much or not. I don't know, but the soil around it just sunk, leaving the original dirt and roots that it came with above ground, so I don't know. The rosemary that I got from Summer Winds, we don't know why it started to die back the way it did, but it does look like it might be coming around. We're thinking it was a watering issue, like we were watering it too much, and then with no shade it was getting burnt because of that. I'm not sure. But we have more rosemary, so even if this was to completely die, I could always replace that with one of the rosemaries in there. The petunia is doing good. It's kind of cut back on some of its flower production, and I've noticed the flowers aren't as spotty anymore for the most part, but I was told that it could do that, so it's fine. The ryu in the back there, it's putting off a few flowers. Right now they're just buds, but I think it's just going through a recovery from the sunburn, and I think it's got splashed with water, which is why it looks kind of splotchy. My purple cornflower or encantia I put here, so if this gets big and bushy or whatever, it's got some room to kind of go through here. I've got beans and peas in this area surrounding this lettuce here. Some of them are purple peas or purple beans, something like that. Some of them are dragon's tons. Some of them are bush slate beans. All the beans should be bush style. And then of course we have the peas, which I can't remember if they're purple or not, but we'll find out when they grow. Alright, the straight necks I put in the back where the original straight neck was. I did take it out. It was a goner. There wasn't much life left to it at all, so I just tossed it in the compost pile. This little happy patch right here is the peas that I got. We decided to just stick them there and kind of adjust the support as necessary. So we're going to go look at supports and other things that he wants at Home Depot. Random onion because it sprouted inside. The zucchini is doing a lot better now that we put the shade cloth or the burlap up. So that burlap, it's actually done a lot, so it's doing a lot better now. All the lettuce, for the majority of the reason, if it hasn't already gone to flower or bolted, it's going to. So we've discussed, we're just going to pick as much as we can before it does. All of the red cabbage back here, they're getting bigger, and so far I've been pretty able to keep up with the bug issues, and it's only been minimal damage for the majority of the reason. And then the beets, of course, which are way down there, right there in that little area, they're doing good. I'll get you a close-up next time. I kind of just wanted to give you a quick view. All the broccoli is doing well. This broccoli over here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got one little broccoli head popping up, so we got our first broccoli. Woo! All the kale, it's going to be trimmed for the big leaves. All the rest of the leaves are going to be left to fight for their sunlight. The peppers in the back seem to be doing all right. I think they were going through a little bit of water issues. I do still have to fertilize everything tonight, so hopefully that'll help as well, except for that guy. I don't know what's up with that guy. But this is the rest of the brassicas and kales and lettuces and whatnot, and the original onions I had put here. The black-seeded Simpson, after picking a couple leaves, they're doing okay, but I do think a bug has discovered them. Almost positive, because there ain't much left of them, so I might just pick what's left and call it a day. All the potatoes are starting to pop up. And whatever is not a potato is potentially a pepper or a tomato, because for whatever reason they did not compost well in my compost pile. So now I got a plethora of random. And then if it's not that, it's weeds. The peppers back here, they're doing okay. All the little sprouts down here. Freaking bugs, man. All the little sprouts down here, they're coming up. Like I said, they're either a bell pepper of some kind or they're a tomato. I don't know which is what right now. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to thin out what I can, what I don't need kind of thing, and then I'm probably just going to have peppers and tomatoes for like ever. The new raspberries are over here. I'm hiding them from the wind as much as possible, trying to use the tree as a break and little twigs as support. The broccolis that were in the bags, I did move them the other day. They're not doing 100% the best, but I'm going to give them a couple weeks and hopefully they'll just bounce right back. All the crookneck squashes are right here. There was one that had 2, the rest had 3, so I'm putting them here. I'm going to redo these bags and they're going to become my new watermelon bags. All of the berries over here are doing pretty well, except for this guy. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't know if you can see that right there. I don't know if I get my arm in the way, maybe. That little white speck right there on the branch looks like it might be a leaf trying to form, but I'm going to have to contact Baker Creek and see what they say. One of the raspberries that wasn't supposed to survive is trying, so since they're the little raspberries that could, I'm going to let them go, so yay, extra raspberries, I guess. The boysenberries have new leaves poking up throughout the old leaves. The mulberries are doing fine despite some sun damage. The tomatoes I got from a customer, despite some sun damage and maybe a possible other secondary issue, I'm not sure, but I think it's just sun damage for the majority of the reason. They're doing great. My jalapeno that I got from Home Depot, it's an organic Bonnie, and it was certified. I did look. That one's doing fine despite maybe some sun damage as well. The surviving flowers, if they haven't already started to die back or if they haven't gotten severe sun damage, they are doing fine. To be determined on this. All the tomatoes over here are doing good. I'm going to have to start thinking about planting them soon, hopefully in the next month or so, so give the time for some of the other stuff over there to 86 out, so that way I have room. Sprinkled amongst everything minus the cat walking through, it is just random flowers. I just wanted to kind of fill in here as much as possible so it doesn't have so much barren. So they're popping up here or there slowly. There's like a new one over there. I just saw that just now. The other two bushes from by the door are doing good over here, it looks like. They haven't gotten any bigger, but it's only been a couple days. Don't mind the motorcycle. My neighbor just got home. Anything that looks dead, we don't know if they're going to come back, so we're leaving them. Some of my zinnias have started to sprout up right there. So hopefully by next month we'll have zinnias. This rose is doing fine. I'm going to probably have to trim off or deadhead the roses that already bloomed and didn't do so well because of the sun, so it can produce more. This one seems to be doing the best, even though ironically it's the summer winds. This is my Burst of Joy. It has a lot of sun damage, but it's growing pretty well. This guy right here is doing pretty good. Oh yes, and that guy, I don't know if you noticed, but he didn't have flowers, now he has a flower, so that's cool. So that's pretty much it right there. So just want to say thank you guys for coming along with me and seeing what I did in the garden today. I know it's kind of long for the video entirety, but I gotta go. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.